But it's killing me, Derrick, to be without him. No, that breakup is saving you. Matter of fact, let me say this. It already has saved you. It saved you from how bad it was. You just got comfortable in it so you couldn't see it anymore. And it saved you from how bad it was about to get. So many times we leave a hurtful situation, the pain is consuming us, and all we can think about is getting rid of that pain. You ain't thinking about what pain just got prevented from how much longer you would have been in that and how much worse things would have gotten. Because that man that was disrespecting you to make it bad at that point was only getting more and more comfortable in that disrespect. That breakup actually saved you. It don't feel good. I don't know who this is. It don't feel good. But the breakup saved you. Well, I'm grieving, Derrick. Yes, you're grieving the illusion he sold to you that you bought. That's what you're grieving. You're not grieving the actuality of the man that is now out of your life any more than a cancer-free person is grieving the tumor that was cut out of their heart, off their organs. That's what you're not grieving. You are recovering from the surgery to save you. That's what it is. Like, put it in perspective, because so many times when we say we're grieving, we're mourning, with this, with that, it feels more consuming, and it feels like something maybe we made a mistake doing. Maybe that wasn't the right thing. Maybe all of this pain is a signal that we were into something that was more important to us than what we realized, and we took it for granted. No. What you took for granted is still on the other side of you sticking through this season, getting through to the other side. That's what you're taking for granted. The opportunity that you were losing by remaining in that relationship. But that breakup saved you. And I know sometimes it's hard to even recognize this because you can't see it when you're in it. You can't put it together. But think about your homegirl. In that relationship, you know, like, she should be out of it, but she ain't gonna listen. And then eventually she come to her senses, and like, you can see it from the outside. It's so much better on the other side. Or you look at that breakup from years ago, and you can see how life has, turned out for you versus your ex. And you're like, man, good thing I got out of there when I did. Same thing is going on now. You just feeling the pain of it. Bring you a little bit closer. Thank you to those of y'all giving me my happy birthday wishes. Much love. Looking back 2020, you're absolutely right. I'm telling you. If it got to the point where you were fighting for the relationship, trying to save the relationship, and wasn't no saving it, I promise you, that breakup, finally letting it go, is actually saving you. I'm all for working things out, resolving conflict, talking things out, if it can be resolved. If this is something where the two of you are just having a misunderstanding, but both of you are putting forth effort. I'm talking to the woman or the man who is the only one fighting for that relationship. You the only one? I promise you, you throwing in that white towel is saving you. You crying over somebody who is slowly killing your spirit. You're mourning a relationship that was really murdering your self-worth. You're missing a person who is systematically dismantling your peace. That breakup that you treating like such a tragedy was actually divine intervention disguised as heartbreak. You think you lost something precious, but you actually escaped something poisonous. Don't feel like you have to go deeper and deeper into this grief of your freedom, and start celebrating your liberation. God didn't take away your happiness. He removed the biggest obstacle to it. That breakup didn't break you. You broke free. You broke free. Let me put this here right now. Because after you break free in the relationship, you also got to break free from that soul tie. That's why a lot of y'all feel like you can't move on and you haven't moved on, or you have moved on, but why is it that your peace hasn't all the way come back, and the triggers are still there, and the anger is still there, and the unforgiveness is still there, and the sleepless nights are still there? And that's because that soul tie is still there. A lot of the emotions that you feel after you leave somebody toxic are really just evidence of a soul tie. And you may have multiple soul ties if you have multiple men have access to you who aren't your soul mate. I talked about that in the masterclass, breaking the soul tie. And yes, you can get access right now. Just comment the word soul tie. I'll send it to you for free. You don't have to deal with not only the person, but you don't have to deal with the residual effects, the residue of said person. You still deal, like for those of y'all who broke free a long time ago and it feel like ain't nothing been the same, you carrying such heaviness, the way that you see relationships, dating, etc., just didn't change permanently. It's almost definitely a soul tie, but you can't know that unless you go through and identify if you have a soul tie or soul ties, and all of us have had them at some point. You won't get your peace. You won't get your freedom from that until you break the soul tie. So I put that in my masterclass, Breaking the Soul Tie. Comment the word soul tie. I'll send it to you for free. I just put the link down there in the comments. But back to what I was saying. You're not in mourning of this man. You are mourning the prison you got comfortable in with that man. What you miss isn't him. It's the familiar dysfunction that you adapted to in order to survive. Stockholm syndrome. Yeah. That's what's got you missing your captor and calling it love. Now, why do I say that? Because once he lied to you, that love, it was no longer free will. It was trickery. It was deception. You were bamboozled. Therefore, there was no consent there. When we talk about non-consensual things, we talk about a person who didn't have the opportunity to say no because they were deceived or they were compromised or something like that. If somebody spikes your drink and then they try to engage a certain way with you, it's not consensual what you do because they compromised you. He compromised you. He played on your heart. He played on your empathy. He lied. He pretended. He compromised you. That was not consensual. So therefore, treat it as such. You didn't lose this good man. You lost your captor. Like, think about it. That's the real reason why you miss walking on eggshells, because predictable anxiety felt safer than unknown peace. You just got used to it. Like, you miss managing his emotions because all of that unpredictability and volatility, it started to feel like home. Once you stayed there long enough, you miss fighting for scraps of affection because you forgot what a full meal of love even looks like. You're not grieving a relationship. Your withdrawal symptoms from that emotional trauma is strictly because your brain has learned to normalize it. Not because it was good for you, not because you're missing out, not because you're not going to ever be able to love somebody like that again. That relationship was a subscription service to suffering. And God finally canceled your membership. If anything, you should be thankful. Every day with that man was a daily dose of damage disguised as devotion. That breakup, it stopped a slow bleed you didn't even realize was draining your life force. Do you coach broken men too? Yeah. I coach men and women. My content is for resilient women and accountable men. It's not for all women. It's not for all men. This is for women who actually want to be better. This is for men who actually want to be better. I'm for those of y'all. You're an accountable man. You ain't got no problem with what I'm saying. You're a resilient woman. You ain't got no problem with what I'm saying. Your self-esteem had monthly fees deducted every single day through his criticism, through his constant nitpicking. Your dreams were getting charged hidden costs through his discouragement. I want y'all to kind of follow what I'm saying here. Your peace, it was being billed overtime through his drama. Tell me I'm lying. When I start lying, tell me I'm lying. If I'm speaking facts, tell me in the comments I'm speaking facts. Put facts down in the comments if I'm speaking facts. I want you to understand that breakup was not a loss. It was a financial audit that revealed that you were paying premium prices for bare minimum bargain basement treatment. That breakup saved you. It rescued you. It did not, it feels like breaking because it's breaking you off from somebody who was only breaking you. Again, if I'm speaking facts, tell me I'm speaking facts because I don't want to. But I get messages from some of y'all, man, and I'm not here to shame you because when you love hard. And just because it's with the wrong person don't mean you can just instantly love less. I totally get it, sis. I don't want you to feel shame from what I'm saying. I want you to understand the liberation that comes from you doing whatever you had to do, or that man sabotaging until he's the one that left for you had no choice, or whatever the case was. You are crying over somebody who is treating your heart like a rental car. Like he didn't care nothing about the damages because it wasn't his. He was reckless with something irreplaceable because he never intended to keep it long term. So it was your heart that was getting dinged and, returned worse than what he found it in, than the condition that he found it in. Understand what you quote unquote lost. A man that was driving your emotions into emotional brick walls, leaving your trust with scratches, returning your love with the gas tank on empty. That's what you miss? That's what you sad about? Losing a man who was never careful with what it is that you gave him? That breakup saved you from further damage to something that deserved to be treated like the luxury vehicle it is, like the luxury experience it is. God said, ma'am, you suffered enough and removed your access to that source of pain. If anything, you should be celebratory. You should be grateful. I know it's uncomfortable. I'm not saying it's easy to rework your whole life, to re-envision your whole future, to pull your heart away from this man, to be the one that's got to pick up the pieces to your heart and put them back together when you ain't the one that broke them. I totally understand. But what felt like punishment in having to deal with that is actually protection from prolonged damage. You see, you only can see what it is, like whatever good times you've had. That's all you can see. How bad it's been so far and the fact that you somehow made it through. That's all you can see. You can't even see how bad it was about to get if you stayed there. You think you lost yourself or were starting to lose yourself. You can't even see what was about to happen and how much you were going to unravel if you remained in that situation. You were praying, begging God, the universe, whatever it is you believe in, to make that man change, to make him stay, to make him love you right. Instead, God said, look, I'll do you one better. I'm going to remove him entirely so you can remember who you were before he convinced you that you were hard to love. Because what you couldn't see is that man's incapacity to love you in the way that you have been asking God for. So your prayers were answered, just not in the package that you expected. They just weren't answered in the package that you expected. But what do you want, the packaging or the contents? You want the packaging or you want the contents? The person that you really lost from being in that relationship was a whole lot more valuable than the person that you lost as a result of the breakup. That person that you lost in the relationship was you. That's what you lost. Way more valuable than the man that you lost as a result of breaking up. See, Margaret says, if you're in love with a narcissist, you'd better assume that you don't know what goes on behind closed doors and then some. God can hear all them conversations you can't hear. And yes, I see the trolls. That's okay. Matter of fact, I'll do you one better. I ain't even going to block the trolls. I want 5 people to hit the share button who know that I'm saying the truth, know that what I'm saying is the truth. Because that's the only time the trolls get pissed off. 5 people hit the share button so you can share this truth and piss the trolls off even more. And once you do, comment shared. If you're not afraid, I'm going to give you a shout out. Comment shared once you share this, and I'm going to shout you out. Yeah, we're going to piss the trolls off even more because they can't beat me up. I can fight. And I'm going to tell this truth. I don't know who needs to hear this, but sis, every tear you shed for that man is a tear that's not invested in building a life that attracts somebody better. I'm not saying you're wrong for being hurt, heartbroken, having a tough time, I just want to give you your freedom papers. Because once you finally do set yourself fully free, not just by this breakup, but also, like I said, breaking the soul tie, there's a second part to this. There's a second part to this. Comment the word soul tie. I'll send you that for free. But there's a second part to this. That's what's going to position you for the man who can love you correctly. Chiad or Boxing, I can't say your name, but appreciate you sharing. Viri and Cricket, appreciate you guys sharing. Jen, I see you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I got some people that ain't afraid to tell the truth too. I love that. But I need you to understand something. Grief for the wrong person is energy stolen from preparing to receive the right one. While you looking backward at what ended, you're missing at what now has the chance to begin. So I get it. You had a lot invested. You put your real love into this. He didn't. I totally understand. But if you spending any time stalking his social media instead of updating your vision board, you on the wrong side of things, sis. And there's better for you over here. If you replaying those old conversations instead of having new ones with people, men or women or friends or family or people that's just aligned, who appreciate your words, you still holding space for a man who vacated it instead of filling that space with activities, people, experiences that add value to your life, you on the wrong side of things. That breakup was your get out of jail free card. Don't try to break back into prison. Crystal Humphrey, who shared, thank you. Mariana, Tracy, oh, I love it. We got the right group in here. We got the right group in here. Miriam, I see you. Tammy, I see you. And I'm not, again, I understand as a human being, as a person with a heart, you can know all of the right things and it's still going to be some challenges, but you get to reduce your suffering when you have the right perspective. It's going to hurt a little while. That's fine. Recovering from tumor removing surgery is tough. When you remove that cancerous tumor, it's tough. It's no fun. Chemo, whatever is involved in getting that sickness out, it's no fun. But if you understand it for what it is, you can still have a celebratory heart posture and then now enjoy the true healing process. You don't go back and try to put the tumor back. No. Leave it out. You'll heal. This is the kind of pain that heals. When you're truly letting go, again, it's not enough to just break up. So many people, they stop halfway. Now you broke up. Good. Now break the soul tie. I put the link down there and I made it free. I give you the step-by-step on how to break the soul tie so you can completely wipe your slate clean. Any trust issues, triggers, bitterness, walls being up, negative thoughts, anything that was impacted and changed you from the woman that you were or could have been without that man. Now you're not the same. That is a soul tie. Your soul is still tied to that experience. So to truly break that, you just got to follow a few simple steps. I broke them down in the masterclass, Breaking the Soul Tie, for free. Put your money away. All I ask is that you share this right now. If you're getting any value from it, click the link, comment soul tie if you want that masterclass. But moral of the story is this. Like I said, that breakup saved you. It saved you, sis. You lost somebody who didn't value you, but you gained back somebody who should, and that's yourself. Stop crying over who is treating your heart like a rental car. Start celebrating the fact you're no longer paying for damages you never deserved. Those are just my thoughts. I'm your internet big bro. Y'all know I got your back. So if this was true for you and you know something I said was true, and you ain't afraid to stand on that, find a little arrow down here and hit the share button so you can bless somebody else the same way you got blessed. And again, if you want access to the free masterclass, Breaking the Soul Tie, I did put the link down here. I pinned it down in the comments, but comment the word soul tie and I'll send it to you for free. Holla at y'all lady. I'll be good. Peace.